All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Vinyasa practice. We've been focusing for the past few weeks on standing balancing poses, in particular Warrior 3. And today will be the last day that we'll focus on that. And so just as a reminder, if you've been practicing with me, when we're working in standing balancing, the foundation of the standing balancing is the feet. So it's important to wake up the feet. And in terms of like waking up the feet, I mean like, can you wiggle your toes? Can you feel the forefoot? Can you feel the heel? Are you aware of the inner and outer edge, the arches of the foot? And can you really get grounded in your feet? And everything comes up from that place of being grounded in the feet. So let's, with that in mind, start off in child's pose. And I'm going to suggest that you take child's pose in a particular way with the toes tucked under. So you can, if you can see my feet here, I'm tucking all 10 toes under. I'm going to reach back and include my pinky toes in that. So I'm tucking my pinky toes under. My pinky toes have a tendency to kind of wing out to the side or go in the opposite direction that I want them to. So just make sure all 10 toes are tucked. And then your choice, you could take the knees wide if you want. You could also leave your knees together. Let's crawl the arms forward. Relax the forehead down towards the mat. And we'll take a few moments here to let the hips be heavy towards the heels. And you might notice that there's a lot of space or a little bit of space in between the glutes and the heel bones, and that's okay. We're really just focusing right now on getting sensation into the soles of the feet, a little bit of stretch sensation, waking up the toes, waking up that layer of fascia, that skin, the muscle tissue that goes over the top of the feet. Let's take about 3 breaths here to settle in. Let your forehead rest. You might roll it side to side. You might even wave your whole body side to side. 2 more breaths here. And then your next breath in, pull your body forward, coming into a tabletop shape. If you had your knees wide, start to stack the knees underneath the hips. Untuck your toes and then just top out the tops of the feet. And then we'll extend the right leg back behind us. Flex those right toes towards the mat. See if you can tuck your tailbone under a little bit. So try to avoid a big, huge arch in the low back, but tuck the tailbone under a little bit. Keep a nice long spine as you extend your left arm forward. So you're balancing on your opposite hand and knee. Deep breath in here. And then deep breath out, replace the left palm and the right knee. Inhale, extending first just that left leg back. Left pinky toes pointing towards the mat. Engage the glute, tuck the tailbone under a little bit so you can take the sway back or the arch out of the low back. And then extending the right arm forward. Deep breath in here. And deep breath out, tabletop. Come back to center. We're going to move side to side a few times. Inhale, right leg, left arm, extend. And then exhale, replace, tabletop. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Get really long through the opposite limbs. Exhale, tabletop. And so continue this on your own, breathing as you extend opposite limbs. Think about that navel hugging into the spine. Think about the spine being nice and long, engaging the glutes and the hamstrings as you go. So legs are really active. One more time to each side. Deep breath in. And then breathing out as you come back through center. Inhale. And then exhale. All right, let's walk the hands one whole handprint forward. Again, tuck the toes under. All 10 toes tuck. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Come into an active child's pose. Active child's pose, fingertips pressing down. Elbows are lifted away from the mat. Toes are tucked. Deep breath in here. And then on your exhale, come forward all the way into high plank. The toes are already tucked, arms are already stretched forward, just extending the body straight into high plank. Deep breath in your high plank. And then exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck your toes, walk your hands underneath your floating rib cage. Press the floor away, inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower release. Tuck those toes under, engage your quadricep muscles, get really tight through the whole body. Tuck your tailbone under, feel your core muscles engage. Press the floor away, high plank. And then downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, take a few moments here to settle in. Maybe you take a wider stance with your feet and your arms. Relax your head. Maybe bend your knees right and left a few times. Keep relaxing your head so the back of the neck is nice and long. Take one more breath here. And then we'll move through that particular Vinyasa flow twice more. So we'll inhale, shift forward, high plank. Your toes are already tucked. Set your knees down, hips to heels, active child's pose. So keep your elbows lifted. Press down through your fingertips. Deep breath in here. Find that extension of the spine. And then exhale, plant those palms. Extend the body straight forward into high plank. Pause here, breathe in. Breathing out, lower to the belly. Prepare for low cobra. Untuck the toes, press down through the tops of the feet, press the floor away. Inhale, lift the heart, low cobra. Exhale, lower. Retuck those toes. You're going to prepare for high plank. So get really tight and strong through legs and core. Deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, press up, high plank. Hips rise, downward facing dog. Then pause in your downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Relax your head. Get long through the spine. Heavy through the head. So the back of the neck relaxes in down dog. One more time through that Vinyasa flow, and then we'll add on. Inhale, forward, high plank. Toes are tucked. You're going to leave them like that as you set your knees down, hips to heels, active child's pose. So that means elbows are lifted, fingertips are pressing down. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. On your inhale, plant those palms. Extend straight forward into high plank. Pause. Tuck your tailbone under a little bit. Stay strong through your arms and your legs as you lower all the way to the belly. Untuck those toes. Low cobra. Inhale. Low cobra. As you inhale, find that back bend. As you exhale, lower. Prepare to press up to high plank. Tucking the toes, engaging the quadriceps. Get tight through the core. Press down through those palms. High plank. Pause here. Breathe in. Exhale, hips rise, downward facing dog. Settle into down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So we'll start to add on to our Vinyasa flow. First, we'll shift forward once more, high plank. Set those knees down, hips to the heels. Active child's pose. Active child's pose. Big breath in. Breath out, come forward, high plank. Prepare to inhale, and then exhale, lower to the belly. Untuck the toes. Hands walk closer to the rib cage. Listen here. We're going to inhale into low cobra. Inhale to low cobra. Keep that. Bend your left knee. Roll towards your right hip. Can you tap those left toes outside of your mat? Come back to the belly. Re-extend the left leg. Again, bend your right knee. So we're just going to the opposite side. Right knee bends. Roll to your left hip. Can you tap those right toes behind your mat? Come back to your belly. Okay. Bending your left knee, roll to your right hip, tap those left toes outside of the mat, come back to your belly, bend your right knee. So we're just going side to side. We're kind of rotating through those hips and the spine as we do this press up to, it's kind of like a really high low cobra, medium cobra, let's call it that, with a little twist. One more time to each side. And then come back to the center, come back to the belly. Tuck the toes under, rest the forehead. Prepare to press up to high plank by breathing in. Tight through the whole body. Breathe out, press up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in here and down dog. Relax your head. Let your spine get nice and long, tractioning in between the vertebrae. Let's take one more full breath here. All right, so we'll start to lift the heels, bend the knees. We'll make our way forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stay rooted through your feet and bring your awareness there. Start to shift the weight forward, backward, to the tippy toes, to the heel bones, forward, backward. You're just rocking the weight through the whole sole of the foot. So get that sense, that awareness of the toes, the ball band of the foot, the heel bone, and the arches of the foot. All right, let's find that center place, find that balance where you feel equally rooted through both feet. Really press down there as you just start to ragdoll your upper body, reverse curling up to standing. So arms are heavy, head comes up last. You're coming all the way to standing. Deep breath in, sweep the arms out and up. Deep breath out, pull your elbows wide, press the chest and the pelvis forward. Keep those elbows bent as you take your hands, interlace them behind you. And then if you can extend your knuckles away from your tailbone. Keep your neck nice and long, so shoulders moving down the back. Bend your knees and hinge forward from your waist. Fold over the legs. So forward folding with that bind, if that works for you, keep it. If it doesn't, you can release the bind, hands to the waist, elbows point up towards the ceiling. Keep your head heavy. Let's take one more breath here. If you still have that bind in the hands, release it. Walk those fingertips up to the shins, lengthen out, find a halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, plant those palms. We'll step back to high plank. Meeting in high plank, pause here, big breath in, big breath out. Shift forward onto those toes, set the knees down, hips back to the heels, active child's pose, active child's pose. Deep breath in, all 10 toes are tucked, your palms are pressing down. You're gonna come forward into high plank. High plank, pause, breathe in. Exhale, slowly lower to the belly. Walk your hands in close to the floating ribs, come to the tops of the feet. Deep breath in, low to medium cobra. Keep that low to medium cobra. Bend your left knee, roll towards your right hip. Tap those toes outside of your mat. Exhale, come back to the belly. Inhale, press the floor away, lift the heart, bend your right knee, roll to your left hip. Okay, one more time to each side on your own. As you're breathing in, you're coming into your back bend and you're rotating to the opposite hip. As you're exhaling, you're coming back through center. Good. So come back to center, tuck your toes under, tuck your chin in, rest your forehead down. Prepare the body to press up to high plank, breathing in. As you breathe out, high plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, extend your right leg up and back. Keep your right hip pointing straight down towards the mat. Keep your right pinky toes in that same direction. Press up through your right heel bone and get heavy through your left heel bone. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, right knee into the chest, right foot between the hands. Come up onto your fingertips here. Okay, and then just take a peek at your right foot. Become aware of the sole of the right foot. And then can you here in this lunge, shift the weight forward and backward. All that awareness into the sole of the right foot. And then pause in your lunge. Can you get light in your fingertips, light in your belly and your torso? Extend the left arm forward and then the right arm forward. So lift enough through the torso and the chest so that the belly lifts away from that right thigh, arms extended forward. So right glute really has to do some work. Left quadriceps, same thing. Shift forward onto the ball mound of that left foot as you stretch your arms back behind you. So you're still in your lunge, but now arms are stretching back behind you. Fingertips extending towards the back of your mat. Neck is nice and long. Deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to step right into Utkatasana chair pose. So that right knee stays bent as you step your left foot forward, Utkatasana. Whatever you want to do with your arms, maybe they're still stretching back, maybe your hands are at your heart, maybe the arms are extending forward. Deep breath in wherever you are. And then breath out, stand up all the way, reach up. Exhale, pull your elbows wide. Take your hands behind you, interlace fingers to the webbing. Maybe you lengthen out through the arms, stretch the knuckles away from the hips, from the glutes. And then we'll hinge forward, bending at the knees, belly to thighs. Remember, you always have the option to keep that interlace or ditch it. If the interlace of the hands doesn't work, just take your hands to your waist. Practice pointing the elbows towards the ceiling. Relax your head. Take one more breath here. Whatever you're doing with your arms, release that. Fingertips crawl to the shins. Inhale, lengthen out, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, palms to the mat. Step back to high plank. Stepping into high plank, pause and breathe in. And then exhale, knees to the mat, hips to the heels, child's pose. Child's pose. Really root down through the palms. Okay, and then we'll come forward into high plank. High plank again, pause here, breathe in. Exhale, slow lower to the belly. Untuck those toes, press up to low to medium cobra. Bend your left knee, roll to the right hip, tap. Come back to the belly. Bend your right knee, roll to the left hip, tap. Come back to your belly. One more time each side. So again, as you're inhaling, you're coming to your back bend and you're rolling to the hip, tapping the opposite foot outside of the mat. Complete that side, come back to the belly. Prepare to press up to high plank by tucking the toes and resting the forehead. Get really tight through the legs and the core. Tuck the tailbone under, deep breath in. On your exhale, high plank. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Pause here, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, extend your left leg up and back. Keep left hip pointing down, keep left pinky toes pointing down towards the mat. But press that left heel up. The left heel bone presses up towards the ceiling. So it requires some strength and some activation engagement of hamstring and glute on that left side. Get heavy in your right heel. One more breath here. And then on your exhale, shift forward, left knee into the chest. Work that foot up, that left foot up between the hands, plant that foot, and then do a little bit of wiggling back and forth. Shift the weight forward, backward, as you settle into this lunge. I like to come up onto my fingertips here. You can always use blocks or a prop to make your arms longer. And then we'll settle into the sole of that left foot. So feel the heel bone, feel the arch, feel the toes, feel the forefoot, feel that whole left foot really grounded and rooted. And then see if you can get lighter on your fingertips. And then extend your right arm forward. And then include the left arm. So you're lifting your torso and your chest enough so that you're still at a diagonal, but the belly lifts away from the thighs as you extend the arms forward. And then you're going to shift forward onto the ball mound of the right foot as well. Keep that shape in the legs, breathing in. As you exhale, sweep the arms back behind you. Strongly reach back through fingertips. Shoulders slide down the back. Neck is nice and long. Deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to remember, keep this left knee bent and step forward into Utkatasana chair pose. So left knee stays bent, right foot steps forward. Utkatasana. Right leg's just joining the left leg, whatever you want to do with your arms. Pause here, breathe in, feel both feet rooted, grounded. When you're ready to exhale, press through those feet, stand up nice and tall, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, pull your elbows wide, press your chest and your pelvis forward. And then we'll just simply relax the arms alongside the body. So past couple weeks, if you've been practicing with me, we've been working Warrior 3 from the ground up. We're gonna start top down today. So if you've been working that with me, it'll be interesting to see if it's easier for you to get into when you're standing up nice and tall. Let's shift all that weight onto the left leg. So left quadricep fired, the whole sole of the foot's nice and rooted as you lift your right knee up. So just start here, right knee lifting up, it's pointing straight forward. And then get the wobbles out of the left leg. So feel that left hamstring, back of the kneecap, glute really strong. Nice and tall through the chest. Just start off with your hands at your waist. We're gonna hinge back with the right foot. So right heel bone's gonna press back behind you. Then you're gonna start to tilt the chest forward. So you're stretching back through that right heel bone, quadricep muscle, hip bone, right pinky toes, everything's facing the floor, the mat. So hips are parallel and square. Now extend your right arm back, left arm back. Pause here, breathe in. Stay rooted through the big toe mound of your left foot. Now stay right here for a few more breaths, or if you want to take this one step further, you're going to dip your chest down towards that left thigh, right foot up towards the ceiling, hands flying back behind you. Okay, so it's like a variation of standing split. It's like if standing split and Warrior 3 had a baby. So arms are reaching back, right foot's flying up and back. You're still balancing all of your weight on your left foot. One more breath here. And then right foot meets left foot, stand tall, top of the mat, just shake out those legs, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Even take those feet a little bit wider and sway the body side to side. Oh. Catch your breath again. Shake out that left leg, shake, shake, shake. And then we'll take all the weight into the right foot. So get really grounded, aware, and rooted through your right foot. We did all of that work to wake up the sole of the foot and get those muscles engaged. Tap back into that now. Engage the right quadricep, hamstring, glute, all of that's nice and tight. And then lift that left knee up. Just simply lifting the left knee up, it's still pointing forward. So start to feel yourself wobble a little bit. That's very normal. Muscles are stabilizing. Stand up nice and tall. Hands to the waist to start. Deep breath in here. And then the left leg's going to start the action of Warrior 3. Left heel bone's going to start to extend back behind you. Leg will straighten out. Thigh bone will become parallel with the mat. Flex your left foot, so toes pointing down, hip bone pointing down. Hamstring and glute parallel towards the ceiling. Quadricep parallel towards the mat. Okay, so you can pause here, stay here, or you can add on by stretching those arms back behind you and up. So they move back and then up. And then that left heel bone tries to reach up. So again, it's like that variation of if you were to come in standing split, it's like you're halfway between standing split and Warrior 3. Still balancing all the weight on that right foot. Remember, your hands are here to catch you and help you balance. Totally okay to use them. And then we'll come back to standing at the top of our mat. Left foot meets right foot, shake out that right leg. Whew, that's a lot of work. All right. Stand up nice and tall, sway your body side to side. Let's let that go and thank our legs for doing some good hard work for us today. Let's come to the top of the mat. We'll just neutralize everything with a Vinyasa Flow and then cool down. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, we'll forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, high plank. And your high plank, shift forward onto your tippy toes, lower to the belly. Untuck your toes, walk your hands back towards your rib cage. Bend your left knee. Press up to low to medium cobra. Body weight to the right hip, left toes tap. Come back through center. Inhale, low cobra, bend your right knee. Press your weight onto your left hip. And then come back through center. All right, let's press up to tabletop and child's pose. Just traditional variation. Unless you're really enjoying the active child's pose, feel free to keep doing it. Otherwise, 2 breaths here. From child's pose, we'll shift forward tabletop, and then we'll make our way to our back body. Coming all the way onto your back. Any way you want to get there is fine. Start by bending your knees and planting your feet. Arms down alongside the body. Press down into the sole of the feet. Lift your hips up. And then inhale, extend your arms up and overhead. So hips are still lifted. Arms are reaching up and overhead. Biceps come alongside the ears. Pause here, breathe in. Reach overhead with the fingertips. Now on your exhale, everything's going to come back to the mat. Include the arms and the pelvis. And then we'll try to smooth that out. So we'll do it in one big motion. Press down through your feet, lift your hips up, stretch your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, lower. And do that one more time. Deep breath in. Lift the hips up, stretch the arms. Exhale, lower. As the hips come back to the mat, arms down alongside the body, begin to hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little rock side to side. Keep your knees hugging into your chest. How about release your arms wide. Stay grounded through your right shoulder. Take your knees off to your left. So right hip's gonna stack on top. If your right shoulder comes off of the mat a lot, maybe take something in between the knees or even something underneath that right shoulder or the back of the head can help the chest stay open and initiate that twist down into the lower part of the spine. Let's take 3 breaths here. If you can, in and out through the nose. It is cold season, so if you can't breathe through your nose, don't beat yourself up. You're not alone. It is hard to breathe through the nose if you are stuffed up. So give yourself a little bit of grace. Be kind. Just do your best. All right, let's come back through center one more time. Hug your knees into your chest. A little squeeze, a little rock side to side. Keep the knees in towards the chest and then re-extend the arms wide. See if you can stay grounded through that left shoulder as you rotate the knees to your right. So the left hip is stacking on top. And again, adding any props underneath the body to support that broadening across the chest and the grounding through the shoulder blades and the back of the head. All those props are welcome. This is your time to slow down, cool down, relax, soften. Give yourself a little bit of love. Let's take one more breath here. And then we'll unwind, come back through center. If there's anything else you're craving, feel free to take it. Happy babies, one of my personal favorites towards the end of a practice. See if you can allow yourself at least 1 minute with me here in Shavasana. If you're ready for that, start to set up. I'm setting us a timer for 1 minute. Shavasana. Shoulders slide down the back. If you can breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, let it go, let it rest. If you have more time to spare for Shavasana, please stay. If you need to move on with your day, breathing in, reach the arms overhead. Big full body stretch. Breathing out, bend the knees. Passing through fetal position. Making your way to a final brief upright seat. Just taking a moment here to sit up nice and tall, shoulders stack over hips, ears stack over shoulders, maybe the eyes close. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. You could take your hands together at the heart and bow the chin into the chest, honoring your practice with reverence and gratitude. May you remember that you will always be okay. May you find a light that guides you and keeps you safe. May you have hope, help, and happiness along the way. Namaste, yogis. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed your practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please take care of yourselves. Be kind. Be kinder than you think you should be. And come back again soon.